Aloha and welcome back. I'm Panther, and this is Final Fantasy Renaissance version 2.0.3. Nope. No. Come on. These guys. Alright, wait, we're down northwest. Yes. You? Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Donald Roy. I completely forgot about this. Friend in Gaia, far to the northeast of here, has sent me a manticore. I'm too scared to even open its cage. Will you do it? You want to fight the thing? No, I just want you to open the cage. No, we're gonna have to fight the thing. It's gonna be ordinary. I just want you to open the cage. What are you doing? Oh no, poison. That's annoying, but alright, whatever. Let's counter that poison by having regeneration. Go figure, the only person who was not poisoned happens to also be the person who is doing all the covering, so. Yeah, not this time. There we go. Stinger! Awesome. Okay, so there's that. Oh, right, yeah. Oof, thank you. Hell yeah! Nice to start off with. Missing these, I believe one is heat. Yeah, I think this one's gonna be heat. Just do that. There. And done. That was weird. I do hope that the bestiary carries between runs now. Because if I'm being completely honest, I am struggling to find how to get every single monster in one run. Because there's monsters you can only face while as a summoner. There's monsters you could only face. There's one monster that you could only face as a dancer. So that's 2 classes you absolutely have to be. Let me see. There's the fight as the monk, but I don't know if that is actually unique monsters to it. If it is, then that's just how that is, but let's just say that's another class that has a unique fight to it that might not change anything. Oh, that took a second to load. So yeah, Summoner, absolutely. Then there's the rare mobs, so you would want a Beast Tamer in your party. She's the unique boss for the Dancer. So I guess you could do it if it required it to fill out the entire bestiary, but it would be such a weird party. Excuse me. I just noticed there's an extra space between the comma, or the... Is it a comma? No. The thing between the S and the E on Heroes. I don't know what that's what it's called. I know that a comma is in place of a period. Right? Look, pronunciation and English stuff was never my forte because I am terrible at that stuff and found it really obnoxious to have all these additional little rule sets for how to convey that you're hungry. But at the same time, I loved the overly complex nature of it. How did I go to the exact right person? Like, Donald Roy gave me the thing of north of the dwarf cave, right of the blacksmith, but there's 2 dwarves there. I don't know, maybe a past memory of trying to find it. One of our scouts has returned from Guru Volcano with a wild Agma. Agema. Watch out for its heat attack. Yeah. Of course. Hit it harder, not protect more. Absolutely nice crit, Fenrir. Sorry, Fenrir. Learned heat, awesome. Thank you, bye. Armor is so important in this game. I have to say that's one of the things that is drastically different from this compared to D&D. Because D&D, in like absolutely all of them, as a player, all you had was armor class. There was in 3.5 as, I believe, the Barbarian, you could gain a flat damage resistance of 3. Which I guarantee you, at the time that you get that high, if anything is doing 3 damage to you, it should already be dead, and you should be pretty set to, like, never have to worry about that monster ever in your life. But, yeah, they were kind of the only guys that had it. I mean, there was also technically the Die 20 Modern, but that wasn't quite D&D. That was more like a use of their rules into a modern setting made by them. It was strange. But yeah, damage reduction. That what they consider armor in this game. That was never really a thing in D&D. If something hit you as a 6, you were hit with a 6. There was no in between on that regard. You were hit with 6. In 5th edition, there are resistances, but the big allure to 5th edition, from what I've seen, and why I started DMing as a 5th edition Dungeon Master, is just there's so little math that you have to do, which, on the side of creating a character, sucks, because it's kind of cool having all those little statistics and stuff like that. But when you start playing the game, oh my god. 3.5, 3rd edition, those two, whoo boy, they bogged things down fast. Oh. Alright, so we did that. And that belt, that, and that. Right. I got sidetracked by getting stuff for my, for Eek. Because I am going to try my best to get him with all of the, things that he'll need to. Because I really, really want that. That said, I did get off task. I apologize for that. Taking about 13 or so minutes. I need to pick up some pures. Alright. There we go. I do like that, first off, I have to say this in the defense of the Bard, his party-wide buffs are awesome for 2 regards. 1, they automatically affect him, which is huge. And 2, it affects everyone in the party without going through the thing of like, oh, this person, attack up, this person, attack up. This person, attack up. This person, attack up. It's just, the song's in effect. I'm sorry, a portion of my brain is just like, that's awesome. Let's go pick up some pures. Because, I went through 20 pretty fucking fast. Right, the repels. I'm gonna see how well I can go without using a repel. Mainly because this party is not actually all that bad. Like, in all honesty, this party is doing way better than I really expected it to. Because Angel Song is really good as a healing. And Shine is actually really good at being the guy to, like, oh, hey, this person's low. Like, I honestly should have covered Eek. I should have covered Eek. That should have been what I did. But I didn't. And that was on me. Well, actually, no. Like, if I really think about it, the reality is that even if I had covered Eek, Shine would have died instead. Yeah, that. That worked out fantastic. And I am, of course, talking more in the sense of that particular moment. I should have done things, but if we're being honest with ourselves, I should have tackled that fight a lot different. I should have tackled that fight in a different way than I did. The word more is used a little too often. By myself. The world can do whatever the hell it wants as far as I'm concerned. But, yeah. Yay! 301. Damn. Nice. Okay. Fenrir, that's a good one. Eek will be coming along in a minute. Zen. Alright, it's not like... Alright, whatever. No, I was just about to hit this pause button to... Damn it. Cover. Zen. Super jump. Poke him. Night. Oh, Oh, okay, cool. Cool, awesome. Okay. Limit. Powerful abilities that can only be used in battle must be recharged by resting at an inn after each use. I don't remember it saying that specifically. I remember it saying by resting. So I'm glad about the clarification that it absolutely has to be an inn. Limits are only available after completing a certain quest. Cool. Why did it play the... acquisition sound. That sounds weird. Mute. Jump. Gaze. Ineffective. Silenced. Awesome. The guy who hits the hardest is spending the most time not attacking. Yeah, that's what I figured you were gonna do, you jackass. Done. Awesome. Everybody survived. Yeah, eek. Not a great level up, but at least it's something. I've got the crown, yay! I'm gonna have to come back here with the Mystic Key, I guess. I don't record where things are in my brain because I have this simple command in my head of see treasure chest, go get. Okay, you guys are just not worth my time and effort. Like, if it was more of the Great Wolves, I would care, but... Oh right, he had the crystal, not the herb. I jumped a step. Now, here's a part that I feel might not go over well with people, but this is kind of how D&D, especially early D&D, kind of ran. Oh, hey, you have this one item that is needed to help the king or this one individual. Cool, you go over to that individual. Oh, I don't have that item. You need to go over to this person, and so on and so forth. And if you're not battling orcs to get it, you're battling other stuff, and after you get the item in question, you then go back to this one person to find out that he's got the actual thing, the MacGuffin you needed to go to this other person, and it was basically a great way to pass the time and tell a story. This way. Because that's kind of, from all the stuff that I've seen and researched and figured out, yada yada yada, it's really important to understand that Dungeons and Dragons original, like super original, first off, you didn't create characters. I think that was advanced D&D. Wait, what am I doing? These are imps. normal D&D, super normal D&D. You did not make characters. You picked effectively a character. You could put your own kind of spin on it, but that was the character. You didn't customize much of anything. In addition, it's great to also identify the fact that there weren't races. Anything that was a different race was a class. So, yeah, I don't think it really changed until 3rd edition. So, around 3rd edition time frame, I think I was in high school. And a friend of mine was really big into D&D and everything like that. I could see. You have no more business here. Go! It's just like, okay. Yeah, alright. But yeah, just... He was really big into D&D. I was really big into creating characters. And it was around the time frame that 3rd edition was coming about. So the reason why that's important is because that was my introduction to D&D, was 3rd edition. I was not a good kid. I was also not a delinquent, so I didn't go out and like bust up cars or anything like that. But I didn't really care for the rules, so I did what I wanted when I wanted. But I generally tried to be a good person, so I'd always set up rules for myself. There's a point to this. There's a point. So that's how I acquired my collection of D&D books, by taking them. I did not spend money on most of my D&D starting collection. There were a couple of books that I'm like, nope, I really need to pay for this because it, like, people put time and effort into making this. I should actually spend money so that they get something out of it. I also had rules on where I would get my books from. So if it was big places like Barnes and Nobles or stuff like that, because at the time I didn't think they were going to have any problems. Yeah, I just didn't care. I would take... Yay, the Mystic Key! I feel fine now, thank you. Oh, you've returned. Here, I have something for you. I have no more need of it. If you ever think... I don't think I ever want to sleep again for as long as I live. The Dream Harp. Dream Harp. Plays lullaby at the start of battle. It is worse than the auto harp in almost every way, but I don't have lullaby yet, so let's see how this works. Out of the way. Who are you? Alright. Anyway, so, yeah, I collected all those books and stuff like that, so I got to create characters. I never once played them, though. I had no campaigns in 3rd edition. That might be a problem. stop off at the weapon and armor shop to sell off all this stuff. But yeah, so I made characters and stuff like that. I started enjoying the way Pathfinder worked. And so I really just got into making interesting characters and looking at homebrew stuff, figuring out how that works. I came up with an entire system to cut out the feat tax that 3rd edition had, and even Pathfinder had, because Pathfinder was built on 3.5, so it unfortunately kind of migrated those problems over. But yeah, I made a bunch of characters. It was really fun to me. It was one of the reasons why I inherently had a problem with 5th edition, because when I looked at 5th edition, I still hold to this, by the way. It felt like it was trying really hard to copy the way Pathfinder was working, but improved on some elements. Okay. I suppose once I get Lullaby, I'll figure out what that's about. Oh, I just realized that's a Grork. Or Groger. Oh. Lullaby is not a sustained song. Is Lullaby even a song that I'll be able to learn? That's so strange in my mind. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, so I made bunches of characters, like several. Some I even got to play in 5th edition when a friend of mine started like, hey, do this. I found out, I may have gone over this portion of the story before. If I did, cool. If I didn't, alright, awesome. But I found out I actually suck and get really frustrated as a player of D&D. But I fully enjoy being the DM. Oh, cool. So, what do I mean by that? So, the bottom line is, what I mean is, as a player, I am a really passive and respectful individual. I try to be anyway. And as a result, I will often wait patiently for people to finish what they're doing before talking next. So when you have a bunch of individuals who all want to get their ideas out as fast as possible, you effectively never get to say anything. Which sucks a lot. Yeah, it legitimately does suck. It is something that I hated, because sometimes I would have really good ideas, and then other times I would just not know what to do because I was put on the spot. So it just kind of turned into this event of me coming up with ideas, but kind of waiting for everybody to give me the chance to do anything with them. Then, to add to that, to make it even more frustrating for myself and for most people playing alongside me, I hated when the dice did not roll the way I wanted them to. I am a person who enjoys pressing a button and having something happen. So if I, say, want to jump this gorge, whoops, I didn't get to jump that gorge. Why? Oh, weird. It's like the dice hated me. It's not the truth at all. But when it doesn't work, it feels so bad. It feels so terrible. Yeah, it's just, that's kind of the bottom line of it. I just could not enjoy rolling dice and would go out of my way to set up scenarios where I didn't have to roll dice to win a scenario. Yeah, it's not great as a player. Then, when I was a DM, which, by the way, I was a DM long after ever contemplating being a D&D, a player. It just clicked. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it just, like, I enjoyed painting the picture for the players, when they would ask, hey, I'm rolling perception, I want to know what's in this room. I enjoyed telling them all the bits and bobs that they would need to know about that room based on how their roll was. And there were times where I was like, oh, I want to roll perception to see this room. Like, alright, roll that perception. And then they would watch it, and I'm just like, you are infatuated with this rug. The rug we're standing on? Yep, it just jumps out at you. You can't do anything else, you want to know more about that rug, and it will not leave your mind. Oh. Alright. It's like, yep, that's it. And it just, I enjoyed that concept. Iron! Awesome! So... there we go. That's one of the power staves. Which none of my guys can use, actually. Oh, wait. No, that's wrong. My fighter can. Because he can use every weapon. But yeah, so that's how I got into being a DM. So that's not entirely the truth. That while I'm sitting here and doing this, the reality is that I was making characters upon making characters while waiting in between sessions, and I kept sharing them with the friend who started getting me into 5th edition. Because at work, we started having after work events. I worked roughly a 2-hour drive away from home. So anything I could do after work to eat up time just felt better than just sitting there doing nothing. But yeah, so I made my character, I started doing things, and I enjoyed painting out stuff, and hated some of the other players that I was alongside of. But that's gonna happen. Like, there's just that disconnect between people. It's gonna happen. I should probably put on the auto harp. Lullaby is cool and everything, but sleep, Let's fix that. So yeah, I started making a bunch of characters and like tying them to things, and I thought they were all interesting ideas. And then the person I just kept telling this to over and over again, I was like, hey, why don't this one time we see how well you do as a DM? And I was like, okay, I don't think I'm going to do all that particularly well as it, but you know what? I'm willing to give it a shot. Because it can't be any worse than being a player. Yes, that was my mindset. That is how badly I disliked being a player. And I remember the scenario because I wanted to test out a couple of creatures and see how well I handled stuff like spells and the like, balancing and that sort of stuff. What I did was I had our two of the people who were part of the prior campaign, with them understanding that they would not be gaining any experience or any loot or anything like that. They would also not lose anything if they died or stuff along that route. So they went into this knowing what they could expect. One was a monk who was actually really, really cool about like detailing what they were doing and all that stuff. The other was... I don't actually remember. I don't remember what she was. She was cool too. She was really good at the detailing side of things, and that was really important to me as a DM. And it was just really cool. It was really, really fun, really cool. They went up against a gelatinous cube and a hag. But that isn't what made my friend go, maybe you should really start looking into being a DM. Because there was nothing set up. It was just, hey, we're gonna do this thing. We were like it wasn't the day to do D&D, or there was something that came up and the D&D would have been canceled anyway. So we were like, okay, cool, all right, let's just have fun with this. And I was like, all right, cool. Here's this battle mat, and I got this ink pen. I drew out a large area, and then I drew a couple of columns or little circles. And I was like, all right, you were in a giant abandoned coliseum. Below your feet are cracked stone and various levels of moss, indicating the age. The dome above you is slightly cracked, providing dim light to everything in the area. The giant columns between you and the various monsters in here are very dense-looking stone. And as things went on, I didn't just... And they attack you. It was... The hag starts coming up and slashes at you after rolling the dice to determine what happened. Shine! You leveled up, and you got the bad level up. Alright, that's fine. Damn, you got a lot of stats off of that, though. A fairly decent level up for... Oh, wait, no, that was a bad level up. And Zen got a... okay level up. Alright, but, yeah, so... Yeah, that's how I started into being a DM. I enjoyed telling a story and understood that... So, I've seen a lot of DMs, and I have seen the type of DM that I don't want to ever be so many times that I actually get kind of irritated every time I see it again. And the type of DM in question is that type of DM who they go, I am your god in this world. Or the even more heinous, I'm trying to win the game. It's like, okay, my dude, first off, you're a DM. You're not playing the game. You are dictating basically how the rules should be interpreted as things are going down. You are not a god, because at any point when you decide to screw over the players, guess what? They're gonna leave. And you know what that means? You don't get to play anymore. Yay, the TNT. So I realized the abundant truth of it all. As the DM, you are not the end-all, be-all arbiter of fate. You are little more than the narrator. Now, that's not exactly true. You are more than the narrator. But the player should have just as much, maybe a little less, control over the world as you do. If not, then why are they there? Like, they should have agency. They should have reason to be there. They should have a point to playing the game. And if you take that all away from them, which I screwed that up a couple of times. I really did. I don't need that. Silver swords are better. And no one can use a staff in this party. Like, yeah, what's the point of playing if you can't play the way you want to? And if the way you want to play ends up screwing up the game, that's when things get problematic. But So I hear constantly about other DMs and their problem players. So their problem players are always the ones like killing the NPCs and stuff like that. You want to know my problem player? My problem player was a wizard. Wait. Trust me. It has nothing to do with his class. Love the dude. I wish I kept in contacts with him. I'm sorry that I've not kept in contacts with him. But because I was lore heavy and liked character interactions more than combat, I had frightened away other players. And the real kind of nail in the coffin, so to speak, is I was down to 2 players. I had already set up a scenario for an actual big bad, because one of the good players who left expressed that I wasn't having enough combat, and I was setting up things to have combat, but they started to see that that's not what I'm good at. And they were okay with that, and left before the big bad could actually be fought. Alright, cool. I wanted to just end things, so I let the 2 remaining players have 2 side characters who were just kind of the rough and tumble. They're there for additional combat because I had set this up to have at least 3 players in it. Cool. So the 2 main of their, one was a rogue mixed with bard, and the other one was a wizard, just straight up. And they come up and they meet the big bad, and it was this kind of weird what if character that I had constructed of what if Sauron had a daughter with the mother that would have mothered Raven. Seriously, that was the focal point of the character. I could go into more of it, but the fact of the matter is, they're young looking. The wizard, knowing full well that this woman was responsible for the deaths of several individuals, but never personally saw them, went to the rogue and is like, I can't kill her. Me and the rogue are like, I'm sorry, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? This is like the actual bad guy. Like, you are supposed to be killing her. You are supposed to be fighting and trying to deal with this individual. And I couldn't say anything. I was the DM going, what? The rogue was like, what? Okay, cool. So they have now a couple of months. A few days later, or rather a session later, we got 2 additional people to join. Fantastic individuals who loved story and things like that all throughout, and it was going great. It was actually really going awesome. They were building up to deal with this character. The paladin in the group was a diplomat, so he didn't want to fight that character. I'm like, oh my god! Why is half this party not wanting to fight this boss I've made to be fought? I had the reverse problem of my characters wouldn't fight things. So, yeah. For all you DMs out there who have problems of your players killing your NPCs, I've had something similar. On that note, I will catch you all in the next episode. Sorry I took up most of this time just rambling about stuff. But my mind's just all over the place right now, and I'm kind of on autopilot until I start getting into some of the newer stuff, like this newer city. I'm gonna find new song pieces. Yes! I might go to the Peninsula of Power to try to get that frost ability from the wolves. Maybe? We'll see. Until next time, though, have fun, be safe, and aloha.